On a dark, stormy night, a 34-year-old shut-in meets his end following an accident with a truck. As he lies dying on an operating table, he can't help but feel regret for the way he lived his life. But just like that, everything changes. He is reincarnated into a new world as a baby named Rudius. He's born to Paul and Zenith, one a retired swordsman and the latter a mage. Utilizing the intellect he possessed in his past life, Rudius quickly learns to read magical books and eventually starts practicing magic. Noticing his unique gift, his parents fight over him to take up swordsmanship or become a mage. Eventually, they agree to make him learn both. To further Rudius's talents, Paul and Zenith hire an adventurer named Roxy Magordia. Upon arrival, she has her doubts about the young boy's abilities, but after witnessing his prowess to cast spells beyond his level, she takes him under her wing. Rudius recalls the grim days of his past life when he was but a jobless degenerate who got bullied until he stopped going to school and became a shut-in. Back to the present, Rudius finds solace in his current happy life. He spends 2 years honing his magical skills under the tutelage of Roxy until the day of his 5th birthday party. As Rudius's parents and Roxy present him with gifts, Roxy announces that he is ready for his graduation exam. During his exam, Rudius summons a thunderstorm more massive than anything Roxy has ever conjured, thus she declares him passed. The master bids her pupil farewell and continues on her journey, leaving everyone feeling emotional. Rudius begins to explore the outdoors alone. During one of his outings, he rescues a half-elf child with stunning emerald green hair from a group of bullies and discovers his name is Sylph. Sylph and Rudius are quick to form a friendship. However, 6 months later, he discovers that Sylph is actually a girl named Sylphiette, and Rudius had mistaken her gender all along. Despite his apologies, Sylphiette starts avoiding Rudius, much to his disappointment. With the help of his father's advice, Rudius approaches her and they finally make amends. The Grey Rat family is thrilled to learn that Zenith is expecting another child. However, their joy is short-lived when their maid Lilia confesses to being pregnant after an affair with Paul. To spare her from Zenith's anger, Rudius convinces his mother to forgive Lilia by blaming Paul for the incident, although it was Lilia who seduced him. This act of kindness earns Rudius Lilia's gratitude and loyalty, which he struggled to gain before. Zenith and Lilia give birth to 2 girls, Norn and Aisha. Meanwhile, Rudius received a letter from Roxy urging him to study at the Renoa Magic Academy, the world's best magic academy. Later that night, Rudius suggests that he and Sylphiette both attend the academy, but Paul refuses to pay for the latter's tuition. Eventually, Rudius's parents entrust him to their friend Ghislaine, a beast woman who leaves the village with him after Paul knocks Rudius unconscious with his sword. As Ghislaine and Rudius depart from the village, she gives him a letter from Paul that describes a tutoring job he found for Rudius to pay for his and Sylphiette's education. The letter forbids Rudius from returning home, writing letters, or seeing Sylphiette for the next 5 years. In the city of Roa, he meets his employer, Philip Greyrat, who is the mayor and Paul's cousin. The task is to tutor Philip's daughter, Eris. However, upon meeting her, Rudius is met with hostility and physical abuse from the girl. Knowing that she won't listen to him, Rudius devises a plan to gain her trust by faking a kidnapping with her father's consent. Eris and Rudius do get captured, but together they escape and return to Roa by carriage. As Rudius and Eris near their home, they spot a servant of Philip. The servant, who had been Eris's former tutor, took advantage of the plan to stage a real kidnapping. Rudius fights the kidnappers and stops them by casting magic that blocks their path and protects Eris. Nearly slain by a sword, Ghislaine arrives just in the nick of time and saves them. Upon their return home, Eris again behaves rudely with Rudius, but as he prepares to leave, she accepts him as her tutor. Philip expresses gratitude to Rudius for safeguarding Eris. He then receives a request from Eris's grandfather to teach his granddaughter magic. Ghislaine takes up the task of instructing Eris in swordsmanship, while Rudius teaches them both subjects like magic, reading, and arithmetic. Sometime later, as Eris's 10th birthday party approaches, Rudius allows her dance teacher to take over some of his tutoring sessions so that Eris can improve her dancing. However, on the day of the party, she fails to dance with another noble, so Rudius steps in and teaches Eris to incorporate some of her swordsmanship skills into her dancing. The duo performs so well that everyone is left impressed. After the party, Rudius gifts wands to Eris and Ghislaine. Soon after, Rudius and Eris's grandfather Soros encounter each other, and during it, they observe a peculiar red ball in the sky. They chose to disregard the possibility of it being a foreboding omen. After 2 years, Rudius has developed a love for learning new languages, while Eris has reached an advanced level in sword god style. Eris and her family then arrange a birthday party for Rudius. He puts on a show of being overwhelmed by emotion, and Eris's mother accepts him as her own son. Later, as a gift, Eris presents Rudius with a top-quality wand. After the party, Philip expresses his desire for Rudius to become the head of the Grey Rat family. Meanwhile, Paul faces a sudden surge of demon activity and regrets not being able to join his son's festivities. A few days later, a massive cloud of magical power appears in the sky, and the legendary hero Perugius dispatches his aide Almanfi to investigate. Suspecting Rudius's involvement, Almanfi attacks him. However, Ghislaine defends Rudius and vouches for his innocence. But suddenly, a blinding flash of light appears and engulfs them. In his dream, Rudius appears as his former self and has a brief encounter with a strange being called Man-God. He instructs Rudius to trust the one who saved his life. When Rudius wakes up, he realizes they are stranded in the middle of the demon continent. Fortunately, they were rescued by Ruigerd Superdia, a member of the feared Superd race, who pledges to accompany them home. Ruigerd leads Rudius and Eris to the Majordia village, where Roxy was born. During their stay, Rudius learns from Ruigerd that his people's infamous reputation stems from the cursed spears they received from the demon god Laplace. Ruigerd speaks about how the spear in his possession belonged to his son, whose death at his own father's hands restored Ruigerd's sanity. Touched by the Superd's determination to clear his race's name, Rudius decides to assist him. The trio of Rudius, Eris, and Ruigerd departs from the village and set out on a journey across the demon continent. Rudius, Eris, and Ruigerd reach the city of Raikarisu, but Ruigerd's notorious reputation poses a problem for them. To avoid any trouble, Rudius decides to dye Ruigerd's hair. They join a local adventurers guild and start at the lowest rank under the name of Dead End, which is Ruigerd's nickname. Fortunately, Rudius's encounter with Man-God in his dream leads him to rescue a group of pets. However, when one of the animal snatchers hits Rudius, Ruigerd kills him in retaliation. Rudius then reminds him that he cannot make decisions based on good and evil alone, and there must be some gray area. Rudius then takes advantage of the kidnappers' higher rank and coerces them into accepting better-paying jobs, and exchanging them with Dead End while also helping them to improve their reputation further. As the world has descended into chaos, Paul's family members except for Norn are missing. He seeks help from his contacts to form search parties to find them while he goes to Zenith's hometown to look for her. Meanwhile, Rudius's party is on a quest to find a mysterious monster in the middle of a forest. They encounter 2 other parties searching for the monster as well. Unfortunately, one of the parties is ambushed by monsters, and one of their adventurers is killed. Eris and Ruigerd then attack the monster and successfully slay it. However, Ruigerd blames Rudius for the death of the adventurer since he decided to wait. Soon after, the real monster, a red cobra, appears. The trio defeats it with Eris using her speed, Rudius his magic, and Ruigerd his strength to slay the creature. After leaving the city, Rudius reconciles with Ruigerd and they decide to work together as a team. The Superd then decides to shave his hair off in order to not scare people. Rudius also gives Ruigerd a bandana to hide his gemstone. Thus the trio sets off to the Asura kingdom, unaware that Roxy too is on her way to the kingdom to find Rudius.